Hey, mechanical coding family, how's everybody doing today? I don't know where the week went to, but it's already Thursday. Trying to see if I can't get maybe TikTok up running. We'll see. I do have some questions up on the screen that you guys can work on. Here we go. I think I'm up on TikTok now too. How's everybody doing? Let me see, do I need to zoom out a little bit more? Sort of. Here we go. Trying to get all the questions in the screen on TikTok and on YouTube is fun. How's everybody doing on this Thursday? Where's chat? Hey Debbie, good to see you. It's 8 p.m. in New Jersey. Let's see. Thanks, Go-Kart. Clements, good to see you. Hey, Go-Kart. Hey, Dora. Hey, Angela. Are we supposed to change something on YouTube? I haven't gotten an alert since March 17th. So, my cats are fighting. Hold on. Out. Go on. Travis, your cat's being bad. Let me see if I can't show you here on YouTube and TikTok and all that good stuff. Let's see. I may need to be like over here though. Let me go over here and go over here and go over here. Okay, let me see. Add a window capture, okay, and we're going to label it that one, I think. Okay, so if you're on my website and you go to the social media tab, I don't know, go to the YouTube page, this is what YouTube looks like for you guys, right? When you hit subscribe right there, did you change the drop down menu and update your alerts to all? Because it'll default to something else. Make sure that you changed it to all. Plus, if you come to my YouTube channel, I always have the latest upcoming stream posted right there, and you can click the notify me right there and it'll turn your notification on so that it'll notify you for tomorrow's live, which I already have scheduled right there. So I don't know if that changed with YouTube or what's going on, but you have to make sure you change that to all. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Make sure that you're signed in to the correct YouTube account too, because I know in some families when they share devices that some people are logged on to a YouTube thing, but they think that they're still logged on to themselves, but then their husband or their kids came in and then they logged on to their device with their YouTube account, and they're no longer logged on as themselves on that device. So that also could be an issue. Hey Tasha, good to see you. Hey Marcy, hey Christy. I'm doing awesome, just tired. I bet you are. Aw. It was on personal. I changed it. Ah, gotcha. All right, perfect. Hey guys, hey Tiki Talks, hey Jen, good to see you. How's everybody doing? I just paid for a dual program at ACCP. I start classes tonight. Awesome. Yay. If you guys are ever right there, don't forget on YouTube to go to the post page, because there is a ton of practice questions right here on my YouTube channel that you just click on what you think the answer is, and then it'll tell you what the answer is. Like if you think this is in sight U is lipomas, it'll tell you what the answer is as soon as you click on it. So I've got a ton of practice exam questions. All those Moz ones are really good. There is a ton. So they're not videos, but they're practice exam questions. And I got some images and things like that that are super cool. And that's on the YouTube channel for Medical Coding by Jen. Don't forget about the podcast. I've got where I'm reading out the ICD-10 guidelines or reading out the E&M guidelines, and then tell you in my layman's terms what that sentence means after I read it. Very cool. There's a lot of short videos that are all practice exam questions. Just, one question, and you got 10 seconds to see if you can answer it, something like that. Sometimes they're longer, but pretty cool. The videos can be and are organized in a playlist. So you can do just anesthesia or just book prep videos or just workshops. But if you're looking for something, you can hit that search button right there, because a lot of people are complaining about, is there anything that I can do about in order? How do I watch these in order or whatever? Well, if you're looking for just the process of elimination, like you want to learn more about that, just hit the word elimination and it'll bring up all my videos where I go over the process of elimination all in one thing, because I do have like 5 years worth of videos here, so there's a lot of videos, but all of these all deal with the process of elimination all in one thing, and that's just using the little searchy feature right there, right? And if you just want to learn about, I don't know, guidelines, it'll bring up all the videos that are all about guidelines that I did all in one row, and then you can just hit play all and let them go from one to the next to the next and the next. So pretty cool features in YouTube. Don't be afraid to click around and notice things. Super helpful. On my website, I did get to put down that I am a licensed educator now, and we do have a course starting up on April 8th. If you do start a course with me, you get 4 attempts at the CPC exam and all the books, all the good stuff, the whole course, plus me working with you, and you get Practicode 2, so that you end up with a straight CPC and no apprenticeship. So pretty cool. The cost for me to even provide all that stuff is like over $2,600. I mean, they charge me on top of that I have to pay for you guys. So just full disclosure, that's what I have to pay. So anyway, so that's the difference, is just for me and my time to be able to tutor you straight through the whole thing. So just so you know. I do have a workshop coming up this Sunday. If anybody wants to participate, we're going to do 75 questions in the same pace as the exam. So 3 hours, 75 questions. It's going to be all guidelines and sequencing, you know, which comes first. How can you tell really quickly by just looking at the answers? Really helpful for anybody taking any certification exam. It is geared towards CRC, but it will help with anybody taking CPC, CCS, anything like that. And it'll be all new questions that you guys haven't seen before. So pretty cool. Don't forget about the free resources on my website. If you want to know how to do book prep videos, right here are free. I have a CPT book prep page that I show you how to do all the book prep totally free. You just click on that. There's 8 pictures. Do what the 8 pictures say. There's also ICD help and guideline help on that page too. It's totally free. The blog is totally free. Job resources, E&M resources, all kinds of surgeries from infusions, chemotherapy, IV lines, OB and delivery, all kinds of practice exam questions and written blogs where I tell you how to find the correct answers. All free in that blog area. There's a free practice exam question area you can go to right there. It's full of practice exam questions. You just click on what you think the answer is with your mouse, and then it'll immediately pop up with the answer and rationale. Pretty cool. And then the free shared gallery is at the end with all my favorite pictures, you know, of what pens do I use, what do I use to carry around the book, how do you get rid of your apprenticeship if you don't take a course, how do you get an extra hour to take the exam in 5 hours instead of 4, what cameras do I use, all that kind of stuff is all free. And then on the home page, just coming to my website, there's also the Amazon list. If you want to know what pens I use, what highlighters, how do I stop the books from unraveling, what do I use, all that kind of stuff is right there. And don't forget about Pocket Prep, that you can click on the Shaking Pink Pill link and go straight to Pocket Prep. Just click on the word medical, and the very top link is AAPC CPC, and they have 750 practice exam questions, all written in the same style as the CPC or any AAPC or CCS exam. They do have questions in all the areas, even cases. There's 75 cases on there. And the price is $15 a month. I pay $8 a month because I go on and pay for a whole year at a time. But it's less than $100. And it's an app you put on your phone, and you can carry it with you everywhere you go. And you can do the question of the day. You can build an exam. I only want to do E&M questions today, and it'll build that exam for you. It's really cool. And plus they tell you where the page numbers, where the answers are in your CPT, ICD-10, or HIPICS book, which is very helpful. They helped me figure out better than the course did of how I found the answers and where the answers are located in those books. So I did very much, and still do, enjoy Pocket Prep. So pretty cool. So that's it. I did put the little approved instructor on the website too, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I hate charging though for education. I prefer you guys to do this without a course if you can. Just self-study like I did, but some people need that structured environment and really want a course, or their employer really wants a course. So if I have to, there we go. It's there. But I still prefer to teach for free. Sure do. I'm working on CRC notes for you guys too right now. So been doing that all week so that I can have them ready for our workshop on Sunday too. So that's why I got this book out. What do you guys think is the answer to the questions that I have up? We've got, let me see, where are my questions? Where'd I put them? There we go. We got at least the first 3 questions. I know you can't see all of the last one. Well, there's 4 up there. I think you guys can see. Maybe? No? Oh, there it is. There we go. I just changed the first question. Sorry. It moved. So anybody know? You can type in chat what you think the first answer is. And I'm going to check chat and see if anybody's asked questions. I do one-on-one sessions. Thanks, Go-Kart. I provide physical books. If you prefer ebooks, you can get either or, but I prefer the physical books because we write notes in them, right? Yes, the classes will be on Blackboard. Yep. A lot of them will be on Blackboard, but I'm going to be adding in my own stuff in between the Blackboard stuff. I have my old folder inside of Blackboard, so I have my own PowerPoint presentations and things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, and we're going to have a lot more practice questions than what's just in that course, because I can generate as many exams as I feel that you need throughout your course. So if you're not getting a certain chapter, and then when I'm teaching the course to you, then you and I can have, you know, as many one-on-ones as needed to get you through the course and to get that particular subject down. There's probably going to be some point where we just got to walk away from one subject and let it go. I had to do that when I did my certification exam. E&M was the one thing that I had to let go. Back then, the exam was 150 questions, and you could skip a chapter and not learn a whole lot about it and still pass. Now the exam is pretty condensed, and it's kind of tough to pass a chapter and skip it and not learn it, but I know I'm going to do everything I can and as many one-on-ones as I can to help anybody pass this exam if they do the course with me. So there are just some things, you know, just got to let go and trust in the process of elimination and our method of being a good exam taker. But I will do my very best to teach you everything I know about medical coding and how to pass the exam. You know, my passion is more so towards leaning towards passing the exam. Learning medical coding is a big subject that is constantly changing. They have updating rules every year, and every group or medical office or health plan that you work for will have their own set of rules. So that's something you're going to have to learn on the job as it is. And I don't want to bombard you with too much information that you're just going to have to relearn anyway. So I'll move up that last question as soon as we finish the top 4. Everybody got answers for these? We got BAB. You're taking yours in April. Awesome, Heidi. How often does the practice questions change? They don't change in general if you're talking about exams A, B, C, D, E, and F. Only if a guideline comes around that is updated will they ever update those questions. Those questions have pretty much been the same ones since 2019, since I bought them the first time. So those particular sets of questions don't change. As far as the course goes, I have no idea, like, if they update and change each chapter's exam in the courses very often. My suspicion is not. But what they give us educators that we pay for the franchise for is a thing called Exam View or something, and it's got all 1,000 whatever of their exam questions in it, right? So I can go in there and generate an exam or a chapter or any kind of exam that I want out of that pool of questions. And so I can update questions as often as you guys want out of the pool of questions I was given by AAPC. And not given, I paid for. So I don't know. Does that answer your question? Still having a hard time doing the process of elimination. It is not easy to see at first, for sure. And there's no really right or wrong to a lot of it. It just takes practice. I'm here to study the course that came with my exams, and I love it. Awesome. I need to grab all your CRC resources soon. I start my HCC contract job with Optum. Oh, great. Optum's wonderful. They'll give you a lot of tools too. And if you go on and start looking on Google and just do Optum HCC PDF or PPT, you will find Optum has already posted online a ton of resources that are PDF available downloads and also PowerPoint presentations on HCC. So you could already start looking at all that stuff. I'm doing my first chapter meeting in May. Yay! I talked to my supervisors and coders at the hospital I work. That's wonderful, Marcy. Keeping up with who your chapter president is and your members is super helpful, because if you end up needing help or a job or something, then they're going to be the ones to be on the front lines. Yes, this one is B. This one is A. 3 is B. And let me move this up to our other set of questions. Here we go. Thank you for sending the gifts. Who is that? Twinkle, Go-Kart, maybe? Brandy, thank you so much for the roses. You guys are awesome, not me. You haven't received the link for CRC yet? Yeah, I haven't sent it out yet. I'll send it out on Friday. The same link that I send out Friday for our Sunday class will be the same link that if you can't stay and you need to leave and come back later and watch it at another time, it'll be the same link. So I'll send that out tomorrow. It has been a crazy busy week. Sorry, guys. What do you guys think is the answers to these questions? Going through the course now. I wish I could have found you first. Me too, Brandy. No worries. I can still help you out if you have issues. The main thing is save all those practice exam questions from every chapter, every quiz, and the end of chapter exam. You can highlight the exam questions and your graded results of the exam at the end of each chapter. You can highlight all of it, copy, print to PDF, and save it on your computer, desktop device, whatever you got. And then you can bring up those chapter practice questions later and make sure that you have them noted in your manuals if you need something, like if you needed to know that VESI means incision, right, for this next question, that was something you don't know off the top of your head, you could find a place inside one of your manuals to put that in there. That's the most beneficial thing that's in that course, is every single chapter exam question that you get. And if your instructor will give you a midterm exam or another final exam, they can build additional exams inside their course for you if they want to. I'm going to have like live days where we're all in a room, like a Zoom day, where you can just join in any time that day and I'm in there, and you can spend time with me one-on-one, you know, asking questions during that day. I'll just be there all day and y'all can pop in and out and ask away. Whatever y'all need help with. You test tomorrow, you're so nervous. Aw, be sure and get your best night of sleep you can. Just let it go. Let's see, can we help her out with some things to know for tomorrow? The differences between allograft, cadaver, or living grafts is super helpful to know. The differences between a Skene's gland, Luna, definition of that, a Warthan's tumor, which is salivary gland, phalanges, what connects bone to bone, parts of the knee, parts of the shoulder, ESRD, what does that stand for? Those kind of things are super helpful. Be sure you know how to code a prosthetic in the penile region. J11, modifiers, 26TC, RTLT, 7677, helpful to know. What does NCCI stand for? What does HIPAA stand for? That is super helpful. Thank you for the gifts. You guys are awesome. 3,000 taps too. Yay. What's the answers for these? 4, we've got B, the surgical cutting. We've got for the muscles attaching to bone. That one is fun. It is C, is the answer that AAPC wants. So be sure you have that written in your manuals. That's what they want. And that's how muscles are attached to bones, not how bones are attached to bones. So be sure you know the differences in those. Which is considered the workhorse. We know that is our left ventricle, right? Okay. And then, which one of the following is not true? Oops, sorry. About the diaphragm. You take yours on April 14th. That's my birthday. You know you're going to pass. I take mine. I understand most of it, but when I take the APC practice, you fail. Are you clearing the headers before you do, like if you're just going to answer A, B, C, and D and looking at the CPT code descriptor that is attached to that code, then you're doing the exam wrong. You don't run to that code and read that descriptor to figure out if you're at the right answer or not. What you do is you go look at the red and blue headers. I'll show you on, once we get a question up here in a minute about CPT codes. Let me get my CPT book out too while I'm at it. Let's see, that's 2024. What book do I want? There's 2023. All right. All right, let's see. All right, this one, we've got, which one is not true about the thoracic diaphragm? It is A. And then this one is B. And then our local determination is, of course, each region's MAC, a covered entity, except. So you're looking for an incorrect answer. Is research. And then what type of health insurance is for low income? Easy peasy one. That one's Medicaid, right? All right. What type of code is assigned when it is not an injury or a disease? You know that's a wellness, right? C codes. Yep. All right. What do the instructions and conventions of classification take precedence over? Guidelines. All right. Our ICD-10 question. Are we A, N, K, or an S? When referring to the tabular list, which one has an instructional note that indicates two related conditions cannot occur together? Nothing we can do about that other than to start going from code to code and figuring out which one is correct. And you just have to go to the first one, A18, and see if there is an instructional note. You guys on TikTok can't see my book. I've got my books open and I'm going to them right there. If you move over to YouTube, you will see that part of the video, but if you go to 818.01 and you look to see if there is an instructional note, there's an instructional note, but it just says see guideline about tuberculosis of the bones and joints, but it doesn't say anything about nothing can be coded together or not. So let's go to the second one, which is N94. We go there. A, B, C, D. N94. So they're just seeing if you understand what clues they give you in the book mean you can't code some other code with another code, and what would it look like in the book if you saw that. And our N94.2 has an instructional note that says excludes. It's that black, let me see, order of operation. I'm going to move up. There we go. And then I can maybe make big. Yeah, maybe. And you still can't see because my camera won't zoom down enough, but N94.2 does have that black excludes note that says you cannot code it with this F52.5. That's what they're looking for in this exam question is, do you understand what an excludes note is, with them saying something about it but not saying the word exclude? Do you know that when there is an excludes one note in the ICD-10 book, that means that that is an instructional note, and it is related to two conditions that cannot be coded together. So they're just wanting to know, do you know how to use the book and what it means if you see an instructional note, and do you know that it excludes one is an instructional note? Do you know that verbiage? So answer for that one, of course, is B. Got 39 of you guys. I do help with CPMA. I have my CPMA, and I have a workshop that you can purchase the replay of in my store at medicalcodingbyjen.com. I had another AAPC approved instructor who had taken the CPMA a lot of times, and she still couldn't pass it, and she was an instructor for AAPC. I created the video for her. She watched that one video and passed it her next attempt. So I kept it so that anybody else that was struggling with those cases at the end of the exam could do it. I passed mine in 2 hours, the CPMA certification exam. So I did it in half the time when they give you 4 hours. I also have notes that you can write inside your book that I used when I took my CPMA for the first set of questions, like all the laws, the different types of auditing tools, what's a random audit, what's a, all that other stuff. So I have that in the shop too. So you can print those. Those are PDFs, and you can just transfer my notes into your books and then watch that video, and you're golden. You should be able to pass the CPMA with both those two items. And let me know if you have any trouble. What diagnosis codes should be reported for a patient with poly as a result of vitamin B deficiency? When you're doing the process of elimination, whoever was asking me about the process of elimination over here on YouTube and said they did not know how to do it and they were still struggling, make sure YouTube is still working. Is YouTube still working? Okay, good. Thank you guys. Thank you for the yeses. All right. Hey, Christina, you joined from TikTok. Perfect timing. You might win a YouTube membership too. So hang out. I'm going to give some of those away in just a second. So for people that are trying to do the process of elimination and learn it, if you were to look at these answers, A, B, C, and D, the first thing to know about all AAPC exams is that if they give you two answers that start off with the same answer, then that's your 50-50. Ignore the other answers. That's part of a process of elimination. We're going to hyper-focus on C and B simply because they start out with EE, 5.5, 3.3, and the 0.9. 100%, I guess I should say 99% of the time, it's going to be C or D. There's a reason why they chose this code and that code, and they want to know if you understand the differences. Most of the time with ICD-10, You avoid anything that ends in 9 because it's unspecified. Throughout the book, most of the codes, you know, 01, 0.2, 0.84, those are all specified. A particular thing is going on with a patient. But if they end it in a 9, that means we know we have other conditions in this area that it could be, but we just can't name them all right here, right now, at this particular time. So if it's not one of the ones that's listed above, then just code this one. Those codes don't usually qualify for any bonus payments or any HCC qualifications, which is risk adjustment. So we try to avoid those when we're coding in general as coders. So they're just seeing if you understand not to code those codes all the time for the exam. So if I was doing the process of elimination, I would not read the question at all, and I would know right away that C is my answer for that question. For this one, if I was doing the process of looking for similarities, I know I've got 2 that are 13, and I have 2 that end in 23. I have one answer that is just one code, and then this one has 2 codes, this one has 2, and this one has 2. Sometimes I like to think, you know, do I have 1 or do I have 2? This patient has a lump, and then her mom and aunt both have a history of breast cancer. We know our Z codes, our status codes for our history of, right? So we would probably have 2 codes. So I know I can avoid B as one of the answers. Then that makes the process of looking for similarities a whole lot easier, because now C does not have a similarity. There is no answer that starts with a 23 now. So I would, in general in my head, get rid of C if I was doing the process of elimination, and I would keep A and D. And what I would do is look up the difference between Z80 and Z85 and see which one is personal history of and which one is family history of. That way, I'm only looking up one code to see which answer is correct. Because you only got 120 seconds. And picking out these answers super fast is hard enough. But the process of elimination and knowing how AAPC writes their exam questions, what they're expecting, is super helpful. Myra, me too. I'm so glad I'm going over this too. Let's go on and give out some, if I can figure out. Let me give out some memberships. We're going to give away 5 YouTube memberships. So all you got to do is be in chat on YouTube to win. I'm going to send YouTube some money here. Send them $26.85, and then they are going to pick the winners. I have no control. I just send them the money, and based off who's been talking in chat, I think they're going to give out these memberships. Mandy, Diana, Barbara, Tanya, and Ashley all won YouTube members. Now you guys have access to all of my exclusive data inside my YouTube channel. All of the podcast for a whole month, all of the old workshops. I've got 3 years worth of workshops, and they all contain 75 questions per workshop. You can pause the screen, try to work out the question yourself. and then release the screen and see if you got the answer right. And you can even turn my volume off. You don't even have to listen to me, but it's a great way to practice a bunch of questions. If you can get like 90% of those correct, then you know you're ready for the exam. There's a ton of duck classes that are super helpful, and those replay videos, I posted one up today that was a group class that we did, going through some tough questions. No, there's no, there are fill in the blanks on a couple of the practice exam questions, but the certification exam is still all fill in the blank. Hey, Patrice. Good to see you, my Texas friend. All right, this one, for our enlargement of the prostate with urinary retention, would we have one or would we have two diagnosis codes? We would have two. We got two answers with the same answer, right? That means these two go away because they don't have the same answer. And then you need two codes, so you know A is your answer. Urinary retention is not a symptom of an enlarged prostate. So enlarged prostate goes here, and then urinary retention is something different. It is not. Usually if your prostate is enlarged, you can't hold any urine because your prostate circles around it, your urethras and stuff like that. So it's not a symptom. And it's very unfair of them to expect you guys to know that kind of information without a medical dictionary, but nothing I can do about that question. This question's super easy. Everybody knows that modifier right there. 62. Ooh, guideline question. All right. Glaucoma for the same type and the same stage. I think we've done this one recently. It was just that we code a bilateral code. When you have bilateral glaucoma, you need, a bilateral glaucoma, you need a bilateral code. All right. 20. Childbirth. Over all other chapters, we know that one too. C is our answer. Acute myocardial infarction. We've got two with the same answer, A and D. Those are the two that I would look up. I would ignore C and B. And then I'd be leery of both of them because usually the diagnosis code is not just 3 digits. And then again, we've got a 9 over here. So I would have to go look them up. I'd have to go look up those two. And which they'll be really close together. So I can't remember that one. Where do we find your duck classes? All right, let me show you. Where are we at? Okay, so we're back here. The only way I know how to get there from this account is to go there. So there we are at YouTube. So go to playlist and then scoochie down till you see the duck crossing. You see the ducks? They're right there. Click on the words that say view full playlist because that way you can see them in order. The last one that I just posted 19 hours ago is the one on the bottom right there. It's got go-kart and a bunch of us in there. It's really fun. This duck class 4 days ago I posted was me and go-kart too. So I got those right there. But there's all the duck classes. These were 2 hours long each. The last couple ones, they were only, this one's only, this was an hour long, but I only put up 33 minutes of it because we got to talking about all kinds of stuff. And then this one, I put the full thing on. It was an hour and 39 minutes because I had to go to James's event or something. But most of the time they're 2 hours long and they're super difficult questions. The ones that you're going to miss on the exam no matter what, because there's one little tiny unique thing inside the question that's not normal that you miss. It's really unique stuff, like advanced stuff. So don't fret if you don't get anything in these right. Because most people don't get anything when we do the duck classes, those questions right at all. So don't fret. These are meant to make you miss all of them. So anyway, don't stress. It's better to miss them with me than anybody else. And then you'll know what to look for next time. So it's really cool. And then the workshops are really cool. Those are right here. Click on the View Full Playlist. Even if you're not a YouTube member and you don't have a membership, I do 2 a year for free, and you can find the ones that are free that don't have the member only on them. So I do one every December and every April. So everybody gets access to at least some of my workshops, even if you don't have a membership. So, and you can get any of the memberships you want. I know there's 3 tiers, but it doesn't matter. You can get any of them and you have access to everything. So all these are member-free ones. So really cool. 3 hours of no talking, just questions, right? Anyway, hope that's helpful. Don't forget to go to the practice questions on YouTube too. And I've got the free practice question area here on my website also. And our pocket prep. Yes, yes, yes. So cool. All right. Get rid of that and go back to these. So we've got, oh yeah, our heart attack. What's acute? Is it the 3 digits or is it the 0.9, guys? I took an ICD-10 class 10 years ago, and I didn't, and you didn't get to graduate? Yep, I have a new class that's fixing to start April something. I forget the date. 2nd? April 2nd? Yeah, we're starting out on a Tuesday. I don't like starting stuff on Mondays. Mondays are horrible days. Start anything on. All right. What's our heart attack thing? If I missed your question or answer, retype it in chat. It's fine. I'm a little confused. Are we going over CPC or CRC? CPC. I'm doing CRC stuff on Sunday. This will get into CPT in just a second. This is like a full exam. This starts off with the guidelines and parts of the book, then does a few of the diagnosis codes, and then it'll go into CPT in a minute, you see, and it'll go through all the sections in order. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. But right now, what's our heart attack one? Where do we find the information about your classes, prices, date, and times? Yep. So back here at my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com, is the name of the website. It looks like this. The class is posted right there. It comes with 4 exam attempts for the CPC, all your books, everything mailed to you, your membership with aapc, me as your teacher. We'll have classes. I'll have open class day Tuesdays and Sundays where you can just come see me anytime that day. We'll be in a Zoom room all day and you can just come hang out with me, whatever you want to do, day and night. And if you need individual one-on-one as time goes by, we can schedule that too, but you get everything. And it's right there, medicalcodingbyjen.com. I'm going to do 16 weeks with you guys, but you do get access to the course for a whole year. So you're going to have PowerPoints, extra quizzes, all that kind of stuff with me. I'm going to email you guys quizzes that y'all are going to have to do, and then y'all are going to email them back to me. I got to figure out how to do it, but they claim I can do it. So if I see you slipping in a certain subject, or you need more practice than what's in the course, I can send you more practice questions. I think it'll be fun as soon as I figure out how to do it. This one is D. What about a 2-month-old seeing a pediatrician about a wellness visit and they have a diaper rash? Would we have 1 diagnosis or would we have 2? That's your first problem. The doctor did prescribe an ointment for the diaper rash. I think that's pretty key. If the doctor had just given them like over-the-counter med, we probably would have just done the wellness exam. But since they did prescribe a prescription, we're going to do 2 diagnosis codes. So I would get rid of A and D. And then it's just as simple as, does the skin infection go first, or do we code for the wellness exam first? That's simply all this question is a sequencing question. Would you be A or would you be C? Hey Felicia. Thanks Twinkle. Thanks Go Kart. Sunday we are doing CRC. We are. CRC does use some modifiers in their certification exam for sure. Thanks Heidi. JJ, thanks for joining the YouTube membership. I hope it helps you out a whole bunch. Don't forget to go to the post area. There's a ton of practice questions there too. I'm trying to make you some notes for CRC too and have those ready for you on Sunday. This one would definitely be B. We're going to do our wellness. They were scheduled and they did do a routine health check examination, which takes longer than just looking at a diaper rash. Which one caused the doctor to do more work? It would have been a head-to-toe wellness exam. The least amount of work for that visit would have been the diaper rash, and that will come second. All right. What about our next question? We have a patient coming in for vaccines. They had hepatitis B, Hib, varicella, that's chickenpox, Hib, and mumps, measles, and rubella. Would we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagnosis codes? 6 diagnosis codes, 1 diagnosis code, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diagnosis codes. We have 2 of them that start off the same, and then 2 more that start off with the same answer. So it's more about dividing them like that, putting it in bundles like that. On YouTube, we've got 41 people on and 33 likes, thumbs ups on the YouTube video. Thank you so much, guys. That helps out. Every little like, every little view on YouTube helps out a whole bunch. YouTube sends me a little money every month. I think I'm up to like $17 a month on views. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome. My kids think it's too funny that I make money on YouTube, so I do too. It's kind of cool. And then I use that money just to buy you guys YouTube memberships, so that's too fun. But just viewing the videos makes money. Isn't that cool? Just watching them. Oh, TikTok wants me to do the puzzle. Can I do the puzzle? There we go. I got the puzzle done. All right. What do you guys think is the answer for this question? I go live usually, you know, a couple of hours. We've been live 1 hour so far. If I missed your question, ask it again. This one is definitely going to be C. Anytime they come in for a wellness exam, you are always going to be using a Z diagnosis code. Be sure that code is written above your CPT codes in the back of the book for vaccines in the medicine section. I just add it back there. That way I remember that all my vaccines will get the Z code for that wellness. What term best describes a hypertrophic scar tissue? I remember this question. Has anybody else had this one on their CPC exam? Does that sound familiar to anybody? Keloid, a cyst, a nevus, fibroma. Anybody else remember that one? Do I recommend being very knowledgeable? No. I tell you what words you need to know for the exam before you take it anyway, if you hang out with me long enough. We keep a little running list of most common ones, and I do my best to teach you what you need to know. And plus, whatever you need to know is inside your manuals. If you're taking an AAPC certification exam, then they get their answers to their questions out of these books. So if you've got the AAPC ICD-10 book, then the answers to any anatomy or medical term questions are in these books. You just need to know how to use the books and know where to find the answers at. And I can help you with that. So paying for another course or paying for more books or other things, I don't think it's necessary. I self-studied, was able to do it myself. I self-studied for all of the certifications I have, including the instructor, the CPMA, the CPC, all of it. Which one is A mass of hypertrophic. I don't think you should have tabs in your books either. I think they prevent you from learning how to use your books properly too. So save your money there also. If you've got it tabbed, those things are just in the way, but also they're becoming a crutch for you. It's better to learn where to find information than trying to look through flags to find information. All right, this last one. Which one's true? So we're looking for the only correct answer. So there are 3 incorrect answers here. Indeed, D is correct. Perfect. All right. That's just 2. There we go. All right. We're doing the first one right here first. Look at the answers first. Don't read the question. Everything starts with the same answer. We do need to know if we're going to have 1 diagnosis or 2. If we're going to have 2, will one of them start with an L and then the second one start with a D? That might be significant. So I would be hyperfixated on answers A and C simply because they both start off with the L70.9 and then a D4. A lot of times they pick answers that are super similar and they want to know if we know the difference between the D48 and the D49. That's all this question is about. And being able to find that in the exam, get yourself to not looking up answers that you don't have to, is helpful. It's not required, but it does make the exam a lot stressful because I know I can look at this and know the only codes I need to look up is the D48 and a D49. And then I go to my question and only look through my question for that difference between the D48 and the D49, and then pick my answer and move on. What do you guys think is the answer? Thank you so much for the 17 roses and the 7,000 almost taps. You guys are great. Thanks for all the shares. I hope this content is helpful. Got almost 50 of you guys on TikTok. It's where I started all this. Thanks for the heart me. I love giving out those heart me's too. And don't be surprised, I do try to follow all of you guys, everybody that stays around, and at the end of the TikTok live, they'll show me who stuck out, longer and was there for a while, and I'll try to follow you guys because I like to see y'all's TikToks too. I'll comment and hang out with you guys. Thank you for the roses. Thanks, Twinkle. Thanks, Ella. You guys are awesome. I'm just going to turn around and give that money back to you guys in YouTube memberships. Good job, Angela. You did get that one correct. It is C. Perfect. All right. What about our next one? This, or I think, are we right? We're going to go to integumentary now for our CPT. Switching books. So we've got a lovely little differences, and knowing that in integumentary, the second and third digit of a CPT code means you have a different header or procedure is super vital. Super vital. You don't go and run to the CPT code for this kind of section. What you do is, for your different answers, is if you go to the 112 area of your CPT book, 112, what is our blue header? Look for the big blue font, and it says that you're removing a skin tag. If we look at our blue header for the 113s, it says shave. If you look at your header for the 114s, you're doing benign lesions. If you look at your blue header for your 116s, you're doing malignant lesions. That's how you do these questions. You don't look at the individual CPT code itself, the 11200 or the 11312. You don't look at those and its descriptor. You go to the book and look before the code set at the big blue font. So, are we doing a known malignant? Are we doing benign? Are we doing a shave, or are we doing skin tags? That's all we need to know on this. Because if you're reading the descriptors and the removals of so many centimeters for this, that, and the other thing, they're going to match with this bullshit, no, you're going to get it wrong. Don't do that. How did we remove the item? We did a shave. So you know what your answer is by just looking at that one word, right? B is our answer. Same thing for the next question. You're going to go to the answers first, and you're going to look for the blue headers first. What's our header for the 143s? 143s. 143s. Where are we at? Charlie horse in the back of my leg, and it's just killing me. Killing me. Oh, Twinkle, you'd be happy. John dragged my butt back to the gym Tuesday. I've been complaining too much about not feeling 100%. So, of course, I had to go to the gym. Oh, Lord. We know our 116s are malignant issues are 157s. That is our skin flaps and deep tissue. So flaps, just keep moving. I know the more I sit in this chair, the more stagnant I get, the worse off my overall health is. Thanks for the info. I was just able to look at it and know the answer. Isn't that awesome, Karen? Yeah, it's really good. Yep. B is our answer. We had no mention of any kind of cancerous anything. That gets rid of the 16s. Did we do a flap? We did do some undermining, but we did electrocardio, right? So, easy peasy. Those blue headers will save you. Also, there's one other caveat. There's red headers in that book that you need to look at for like the digestive system, the urinary system, the female and male system. So if you're doing exam questions in those areas, you don't go to the CPT code. You don't go to the blue header. You go find the red header before the codes first. Then you look at the blue header. Then check your question. Was I under this body part and doing this type of procedure? That's how you do the question. Most of the time you don't ever need to read the actual real CPT code description for the answers. Unless all your answers are right in a row, like 114, 01, 02, 03, and 04, you don't go to those codes in the descriptions. You go to the red and blue headers. Make sure you're under the right body part and the right surgery. That's how you pass the exam. All right. Here we've got 3 of them that are in the 19s and 2 of them that are in the same, start off with the same answer, right? 19,125 is down twice. Would I bill for 1 procedure or would I bill for 2 procedures for this one? Check out our question. What did we do? Did we do something that is 2 procedures or did we do a procedure that is all in one? What's more likely the answer? We know that AAPC is always going to try to push you to bill in their question 2 codes, but 90-something% of the time the answer is always just the 1 code. If you were just guessing, 2 answers start out with the same answer. The only difference is adding in another CPT code. You're better off not even reading anything and just pick A. Move on to the next question. All right. Acronym for this body part. What are we talking about? Are we a tendon, a ligament, or are we a joint or an extension? What is a questionnaire? What is that? If you're talking about these questions, these are available to my students who are going to be signing up with me to be their instructor. I was playing around with the system and seeing if I could build an exam, and that's where these questions come from. So if you are going to be one of my students through AAPC, that's where these questions come from. And you can buy them too. They only cost you $6,000 if that's what you want to do. If you want to buy the franchise through AAPC and be able to be a teacher on a course for AAPC and give out Practicode too. So it's $4,500 for the franchise. Then it's $1,000 to be on Blackboard, and then it's $500 for Practicode. $6,000. Yes, there are, and there was last night. I have Affirm, Afterpay, and PayPal later on it, of course. But I think Affirm, and it was working last night, and it's worked all year long. Affirm has, but for some reason today, at one point, I could not get anything to come up. So I put in a ticket for my website provider to call me on that. So I'm not sure what's going on. Like, if you go there and you book the course, right? And and go book now. And you go to checkout. Yeah, there's pay later, but some other stuff is supposed to show up. Right now, only PayPal is, for some reason. PayPal later. Affirm and that other company, I just had it in my head, I forgot the name of it, are supposed to show up, and they're not. And I'm not sure what's going on. They were yesterday, and they're not today. So I got to figure out why. It said something about selling unlicensed but licensed material, and I'm like, I'm licensed, so maybe I need to send Wix my contract with AAPC that says I'm licensed to sell it. So I don't know, but it was working. But PayPal is for right now. Anyway. And you also get 4 exam attempts with me instead of just 2. So, and all your books mailed to you and all that stuff. So, plus you get one-on-one tutoring with me. We'll go through all the chapters and all that stuff together. But I do have to get Affirm back up there like it was. I don't know what happened. Because it says you can't sell prohibited items like airline tickets, hazardous material, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not selling any of that. I don't know. I have my Affirm and Afterpay accounts all set up and accepting. In fact, I just had somebody use Affirm on my website. How many days ago was that? Like 7 days ago. I don't know what happened today. I had to increase my Affirm business so that they get 10% of the fee from, you know, Affirm gets a percentage of what they give, what I'm selling, whatever. So because the course is more than what I normally sell stuff for, I had to upgrade my account with Affirm, and they went from 5.99% that I pay them to 10%. And I had to upgrade that so that you guys could charge more stuff. But yeah, the last time somebody did Affirm was on March 10th, and that was approved. No big deal, but I did have to increase the Affirm account so that y'all could bill the amount of the course, because the course cost me, I have to pay, even with the $6,000 that I paid APC, I got to pay them another almost $700 for you guys individually per student to be in the course, to send your books, to sign you up on Blackboard. All that stuff still cost me on top. So I pay for it up front for you guys. So, and then 10% goes to Affirm. It's like crazy. Everybody's got their money out, hands out. But I wish it could all be free. I wish education could be free myself. But yes, my financing package, I had to go from 5.99% plus 30 cents to 9.99% per transaction. And that was approved last night, no problem. But now my website is not showing it for some reason. It says I have a prohibited item up for sale, which is not true. But anyway, there's always computer glitches, one thing or another. But the course doesn't start till April 2nd or so, so we still got time. And I'll be starting the course over again every month, so that I have a rotating schedule, so that, you know, 1 month we're doing, you know, cardiovascular. The next month we're doing, you know, digestive, you know, and it'll rotate so that anybody could start at any point once a month and jump right in and know what's going on and be at a starting point where they can start, because the schedule will just rotate as a 12-week course, but more like a 12-month course, kind of, sort of. But anyway, that makes sense. Get back to this PowerPoint. All right, did everybody get question 30 as D, the extension of the scapula? I had to write this one in my musculoskeletal section when I saw this question. I think I got it wrong. So I had to write it in on our little Skeletor inside our CPT book when I did this one years ago. Yeah, see, I wrote it right here. Put it in on my little Skeletor guy. People still argue with me about that one, but I'm just writing down the answers that AAPC wants, and we just put it down where we can find it during our exam. All right, anybody's got low back pain? Which one is true? You are looking for a correct answer. The rest, there's 3 incorrect answers for that one. Sorry, go-kart. What'd I miss? Are they keeping the unlimited test, or is that just a special? I think that's just a special right now. I have never seen it. I've heard of people actually getting it like a few years ago, and that was great, and I was very jealous of that. But I've never seen it actually online, but I've not gone actively looking at what is included in their instructor-led courses all the time. And I've only had, you know, I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I've had maybe 1 or 2 people actually get that unlimited thing before. I don't know if that, I don't even remember seeing an email about it or anything. I don't know. But I would suspect it is not a routine thing. I'm always on their website. It's not something I've ever seen before. I was just happened to be on their website this week, checking out the different prices, and noticed that they had the unlimited one, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That is really cool. But the price of the course is the value of getting 10 attempts. So $3,000 if it's $500 times, you know, you get 2 attempts. So $3,000 divided by $500 is 10 attempts. Anyway, but yeah, it expires on March 31st. I could show you guys. Let's see, go here. We could go. And it's only for the instructor-led one. So AAPC. If you go to certifications, go to all certifications, go to CPC, and go to courses. And right here, you've got self-paced and self-paced max. Self-paced max for $29.49 does come with free unlimited exam attempts, but no teacher-led. There's nobody helping you. but you do get access to the self-paced course and the unlimited attempts. If you want a teacher to help you out, it's $3,549, and then plus tax and stuff like that. So, and it comes with unlimited exam attempts. The self-paced course by itself and the membership with no exam attempt will be $27.99. That's crazy. And there's no exam attempt. But if you spend $150 more, you get unlimited exam attempts and 3 practice tests. It's probably ABC. Same questions that have been out for a decade. Coding simulation software subscription. That's Practicode. You get that with me too. It's just I can't pay for the unlimited exam attempts. That's just crazy because it's $500 for me too. As a teacher, they charge me the same prices as you. I have to pay per student $2,600 for the 4 attempts, Practicode, and you guys to have the books mailed to you and your access to all the stuff. All the stuff. I don't get much of a discount at all. Study guides and all that stuff. But I'm there now. All right, let me get rid of this. Go back to our practice questions. And we got this lower back pain. That one is D. It exists, codes exist to indicate whether it is sciatica or with low back pain. Musculoskeletal question. If we look at this question, we've got answers A and B. No, C. C over here. A and C are super close together. The 2, 3, 6, 1, 5 and the 1, 6. Just because they're numerically super close together, those are the 2 that I would hyperfixate on. I would automatically eliminate these 2, not worry about them. Go to this one, see what body part, which is my red header, and then the blue procedure header first. Make sure those check and match with what's going on in here. And if they do, then great. I'm going to keep those, and then I'm going to look at my differences between the 15 and the 16. It's probably radiology. Who's the, oh no, 2, 3, 6. Let's go see. 2, 3, 6. What header are we under? 2, 3, 6, 1, 6, and 1, 5. What red header are we under? We're under shoulder. And the procedure is under the blue header of a fracture and dislocation. Is that what we got? We have a fracture. Where is the left proximal humeral? Where is that? And then our 15 and 16. What's my differences? One of them has a prosthetic. we have our implant was placed. So we know we are definitely going to be our 16. Easy peasy. That's all you needed to know. Yes, the video will be available on YouTube for replay. It's being recorded right now and will be available right now. You have 2 attempts, Kindness. I stay home. I'm a stay-home mother with no medical background, and I love it. That's awesome. Yay. Well, I'm trying to do my best. I'm offering 4 attempts with my course, plus Practicode and the course, so that you can eliminate your apprenticeship and just be a CPC full when you get out from under my thumb. All right, what about this 14-year-old? We've got 3 answers that start off with the same answer, right? Then it's just a difference. Do we have 2 procedures? Both A and B have 2 procedures? Or would we just have 1, which is D? I would eliminate C because it's not starting off with the same answer. And in fact, I probably wouldn't read anything with this question. I would pick D and move on to my next question. They're always going to try to push you to make you think that you need to bill an extra code, that you have to have 2. But all of this procedure, I bet, is all in one. Bet it's just D is your answer. You are awesome, teaching me more than this college instructor. Oh, Kindness, thank you so much. I could not be an instructor, and I've been in those classrooms. You know, I did first grade twice. I've been in the classroom wanting to learn and not being able to learn. Whatever they were saying to me was like Charlie Brown, you know, wah, wah, wah. I could not grasp it. And the look of uncare on their face. I know you got 20, 30, whatever students in your classroom looking up at you, and you can't care about all of them. And at some point you do have to cut them off if you've spent too much time. But good gracious, I hear 99.9% of people that took a course with an instructor led are not happy, or they've reached out and asked for help, and then their teachers laugh at them or tell them they're not going to be a coder, or and they've said some awful things to some of the people that I found over here. And I could not take your $3,000 and I'm sending $2,600 of it back to AAPC. I'm just a middleman. So the only amount of money that I'm taking is very minuscule anyway. But I couldn't take a dime from you and then laugh at you because you couldn't get the answers right, or not figure out a different way to teach it to you, you know. I think education should be free for all of us. If we have a population that wants to be, you know, doctors or lawyers or researchers, or, you know, I don't know, figure out a way to clean the earth or clean our junk around the solar system that we've made out there. I don't know. Whatever anybody wants to do, if we have the means to educate them so that they can go do it, we should do it. Because they're our population, right? If you don't keep them healthy and you don't educate them, how do you expect them to progress our population? I don't know. But education should be free. If you're just using it to never work and not do anything with it, then that's one thing. But you should, if you want to do something, it should be free. And you're putting in the work for it. Absolutely. All right. But we don't live in that world right now. And until we do, or until I win the lotto and can just buy everybody a course, I'm going to do my best. And I am not going to leave you hanging, not learning anything. If I know it in my head, you guys are going to know it too. Hey, Boo. Did James make it home yet?
My corrupted and has a virus for sure, because I just tried restarting my phone and then it just lines everywhere.
Oh,
and now it won't work.
Okay.
No. Can you tell Mama?
What you trying to download then? You can't mess up a Samsung Galaxy phone. I have owned these things for decades. And you can't drop them. You can't download anything.
Sorry, is there anything I can do for you? So I can just, because I have enough energies, so I have to do something. So
Trash, both the cans taken out, and the boys' bathroom. That would be awesome.
we're gonna get dinner over with for the weekend. So
Oh, and I need and make sure that litter box in front of the garage door has been unplugged and plugged back in.
okay. So trash and
Litter box, trash in the boys' bathroom.
I just want to get it done and over with because I just want to.
Can you unplug my K6 too? I plugged it up to charge in the garage, and I need it unplugged and the charger unplugged. Yeah. Can you remember all that? Sorry, kids came in for directions. All right. A and B look promising, right? Because they both start off with the same first digits, the MM, 25, and then they both have a 0.4 and then a 7. The only difference is the 1 and the 4. The rest of these, I probably wouldn't look up. I'd hyper focus on these two and just go look at my difference. And whatever that difference is, I'd look up right here. But that's how I do the process of elimination. Thanks, Twinkle. Yes, I already have Practicode all done. All the cases are done. And if you do the course with me, of course, I'll pay for you to have Practicode at the end when you finish your course and take your CPC. And then I've got all the cases done for Practicode. And they're all ready, and we can work through those together, and you can do all 600 cases, and you'll be done. Yip, yip. I did start early tonight. I tried. I just looked, it does expire on 3/31, yeah. And I don't see that very often, and I'm constantly on their site. So if you want the unlimited attempts for a year, they're not going to give you unlimited attempts forever, but from the date of purchase, you could book it probably once a week for 52 weeks, I don't know, and just do the exam every week until you pass. But it's $3,000 to do that. Jeez, Pete. But heck, it's unlimited attempts, and those $500 for 2 attempts is a hefty price, right? So can you sell just Practicode? I already went through a course, and I have to rebuy Practicode. Let me ask my aapc and see. I think I've got a meeting with them tomorrow. George is my case manager, if you want to say, and see if I can purchase, if that's going to be in my shop for you guys. Like, I'll have a shop. They're building me a shop. Like, I'm going to have some people that are going to show up and don't need a membership because they're already members, right? and they already have the books, so they don't need the books. So maybe they could cut down the price a little bit if they only needed the course and a study guide. So then I gotta have a way for them to pay for only what they need. So they're trying to build me a thing for that, but I already see errors in it because they've got the membership down twice and there's no pictures to anything, and I'm like, what is this? I don't know what this is, because they name things differently than what's listed. I don't know, but they're working on it. So I'll ask them. I think, in fact, where am I at? Where's my, here, because if we go to this instructor thing, and I go to my store, like the books, I still have to pay $127 for you guys to get a book. And then when I put that in my cart, it has tax on top of it and then shipping, $14 on top of it. It's ridiculous what they charge me. But the student bundle with ebooks, textbooks, training, they have the study guide. The membership is down twice. I don't know why that's down, but is practical coding down here? I know it's not $30. I don't know what this is. CPC practical application. I don't know what that is. To DEF, it's the same price that you guys get online anyway, so it's not like I'm saving any money. The 2 attempts, instead of $4.99, is $4.75. Ooh, I'm saving, what, $24? Ooh, such a big savings. Oh my God. From the $4.99. I had to pay $6,000 to get that $24. I don't see Practicode here, I don't think. I don't know. I just don't know what these things are because there's no pictures. It's like, what is this? But anyway, that's the store so far. And last week, the store had the 2026 books in it also already. And they were only $69. And they disappeared. And now it's only 2025 this week. What happened to the 2026? Because I was going to pre-order one. Because 69 is better than 89. But I don't know where that went. But that's what the instructor store thingy, whatever, looks like. On my end, anyway. But yeah, I've never seen... Do any of the other, like the CPC and CPB, do they have unlimited exam attempts right now on the course? Yeah, they do too. If you do the billing. What about any of the other certifications? What about CRC? We go there. Prepping, the course. Certification, if purchased separately. I don't think so. It doesn't say unlimited for CRC. Only CPB and CPC, maybe? What about COC? They don't make it easy for you to find anything. COC, Nope. So it's just CPC and CPB. Those two. You get unlimited attempts, I guess. Wonder if it's CPB by itself. Yeah, CPB by itself also has the free unlimited exam attempts till March 31st. Whether you do self-paced or instructor-led, Self-paced, instructor-led, without an instructor is $1,700, and you get unlimited attempts at that exam for a year. That's for CPB. Plus you get the course. Plus you get practice exam questions, membership. But I don't remember seeing anything. There's nothing on their website. Like, you can't click on this and see. For a limited time, you know, you get unlimited exam attempts. They're not advertising it. So unless you see it, you wouldn't know that that's happening right now. And I don't know of anybody else advertising it. I mean, most people that are selling courses wouldn't advertise, you know, a better deal somewhere else. But I don't, you know, I'd rather you guys have unlimited attempts. I wish I could provide it. But they charge me $475 to buy 2 attempts per student. So every one of my courses, I have to pay for the 4 attempts because I want you guys to have more than just 2. Because usually it takes you 3. 3 attempts and you usually pass. You know, 90% of people do. So I wanted y'all to have the 4 attempts. So you see what I have to pay. So all right, let me get rid of this. All right. Our next one. All right, we've got 2 that start off with the answer 79, right? That means I would probably get rid of B and D. And then it's just a difference between 2 CPT codes or 1 CPT code. What do I think the answer is? C, all day long. Oh, we forgot about the answer for 34, the one above, right? Forgot to tell you guys, right? Answer's A for that one. But for this one, if I was doing just the process of elimination, looking for similarities, I'd keep A and C and then just pick the answer C because it's just 1 CPT code. This one has 2 CPT codes. Don't read that because they're going to make you think that you got to build 2 CPT codes. Propaganda. We don't bill casting supplies when you do a surgery on somebody and you need to put them in a cast. It's included in the surgery. So, easy peasy. 10 more minutes. Oh, Miss Twinkle, I've missed you. All right, another anatomy one, guys. What have I missed in chat besides the 10-minute alarm? I would be interested. Yay. Is it possible to become one without taking a class? Of course. Yes, if you want to become a CPC without a course, you can absolutely do it. All you need is the study guide from AAPC and your manuals. So what you do is go to Google and go to AAPC study guide. Okay, and where am I at? Because I'm not where my computer is at. Where is my computer at? This one right here. This is where I'm at. Why are you over here? So we're going to look for, just go to Google, go to AAPC study guide, and then switch your thing from all to shopping. and go purchase a study guide from somebody willing to sell it to you cheap with free shipping. There's some bookstores online, like Stanza textbooks, that will ship it to you as a rental, or there's thrift bookstores that will ship it to you as a paper book. Book Run is a great place to get study guides. I love them. But there's also, Able Book, they're great. But there's also people that have it as a PDF that you can download. Anything that is older than 2021 is fine. The books don't change very often from year to year. And an older version will work out just fine. Like this 2023 is just fine. You need that. And then you need to get your 2024 or 2025 AMA CPT book. Again, go to Google, go to shopping, find somebody willing to ship you one with free shipping. There's a $22 one with Book Run. If it's got free shipping, then great. You can use a 2024 book for all of 2025. It's just fine. And then you need your AAPC ICD. Find you one of those. Cheapest way you can find it. Books, great, 24 bucks. If you've got free shipping, have them send it to you. And then you need the hit picks. But you don't need the ICD-10 or the HitPix book as fast as you need that CPT book. Most of your exam is going to be in the CPT book, and that's where we're going to spend most of our time doing book prep. Then you're going to come to my website, Medical Coding by Jen. You're going to go to the free resources tab right there that says resources, and you're going to go to CPT book prep. As soon as your book comes in, your AMA CPT, you're going to do everything that I've got listed in these 8 pictures. You're just going to click on them and do what I said throughout the entire book, at least from E&M through medicine section. Go do it. There's a rhyme, reason for this. It's important. It'll help you with picking out the correct answer, remembering to look for your do nots, remembering to look for your modifier alerts, putting in those page numbers where the red codes are at. Very, very helpful. Then on the days when you can't stand looking at the CPT codes, we're going to do drawing, which is your artwork and your anatomy pictures. And then when you do get your ICD-10 book, you're going to do these. Also underneath the resources tab, completely free, you can go to the CPT book prep videos. I've got the digestive system listed there. You can watch those videos and watch me prep the digestive system right there. It's totally free. You can also join in on my free live lessons that I've done since 2019. I teach for free, 3 nights a week, 2 hours each time, just for you guys, answering your questions, trying to prep you for your certification exam. And with that study guide and book prepping and then my live lessons, you're going to do great. If you're under the social media tab also, my YouTube channel is super handy dandy. It has under post a bunch of practice exam questions that you can do. My website also has free practice exam questions. The playlist, the podcast where I'm reading out the guidelines. There's short videos where you do practice exam questions and long form videos, of course. If you hit the live button, that's all my past live lessons, and they're in chronological order. So today was what? Thursday? So Monday's live lesson is right there. That's Mondays. Then this was last week's Fridays. This was last week's Wednesdays. This was last week's Monday. You can go back and watch them in any order that you want. Really cool. The other thing that you need is on AAPC's website. So if you drop down my menu right there, you can go over here to the AAPC site really easily from my YouTube channel. And if we go to AAPC, whatever certification you're trying to do, you do need a few practice exam questions from that certification. Whether it's CPC, CRC, CPMA, it doesn't matter. Whichever one of these you want to do, I can help you pass it. But you do need a few practice exam questions. So just pick the certification you want, drop down menu where it says prepare for an exam, and then go to practice exam questions and just get a few. I recommend DEF if you're doing CPC, but if $80 is too expensive for you, there is another option by clicking over here to specialty tab. And if you click that, you get this drop down menu, and you can pick things like ED or EMC. Those are just E&M questions. FP is family practice. And those questions are 50 questions for $39. And you can purchase those. Just get one set of practice exam questions from AAPC, because it is super important to at least have something that's in their site that is their practice exam questions, because they've moved their practice exam questions to this site. And the same exact site that I go here to do these practice exam questions, these are the family practice ones, is the same exact site that you will take your certification in. It doesn't matter if you do it remote from home or whether you do it at a testing center. You will be thrown right into this area, which is called Scorpion. And this is exactly what the exam will be on your exam day. You need to learn how to use and find your calculator. Where's your notepad if you need it? If you need an RVU calculator, where's the medical record at? You need to know where your timer is. You can turn it off, turn it back on. How do I flag a question? How do I unflag it? How do I find my next questions? That kind of stuff. You need to learn how to navigate the system, because this is the same testing place that you will be in no matter what. And these are the family practice questions. There's 3 questions or 2 questions per chart. But it's a great way to get extra practice questions. But also learning how to use their system. Learning how to navigate in here and find your questions. They do group them together, like you'll have 6 that are in integumentary. They'll group them together and put, all the musculoskeletal together, all the cardio together, and stuff like that. It'll be listed here in groups of however many questions. So you can go and do all the ones quickly, or go straight to the cases, or do just the anatomy ones. You can pick where you want to go, or you can go from question 1 all the way through 100 without skipping around. It's totally up to you, but you want to learn how to do that. You want to learn how to submit your exam and your practice questions and pick an answer, and then you also want to be able to find your answers and rationale inside this system. And you have to click on your review my results, and then you have to hit show my answer and then show my feedback to get the question and the answer all on one screen. But you want to know how to navigate, and the only way you can do that is by purchasing a few of their questions. So that is super helpful, but that's all you bare minimum need to do this without a course. And it's exactly how I did it for all my certifications through them. So I hope that's helpful. Anybody got an answer for this anatomy question? Oh, we've got run out of time. Let's finish this question and then we're good. I wonder how much Ahima is charging for their franchise. I want to be a teacher for them too, so that'll be next year's thing. I'm going to go see. I bet they're a non-for-profit, so I bet it's not as expensive. Everybody says spleen. Where am I at? Where's my answers? So next year I'll work on trying to become a teacher for CCS too. Spleen is it. Correct. Good job, guys. I hope this was helpful. I'll be live again tomorrow night here on YouTube and TikTok. I think I changed the time to like 5:30. I'm not sure on Friday. But I don't think we got much going on tomorrow. The boys are not in school, so I'll be home all day. I just need to finish the CRC notes for the CRC people, get that published, and then finish the questions for our workshop on Sunday. I've been trying not to stay up all night on Saturday nights and doing them all like an hour before the workshop. So I need to finish those. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow and Saturday. And but I'll be back and do 2 more hours for you guys tomorrow. So I hope this is helpful. I hope I got some more information for you guys, and I hope I get the linky thing for Affirm and Afterpay back up on the website. Right now, PayPal Later is working, but hang in there. I'll get those to working. Looking forward to the workshop. Yep. I got to work on that tomorrow too, because I got to send out the link and add a few folks. All right, love you guys. I hope this was helpful, and the replay will be available on YouTube. And sorry if I don't get to see all you guys' questions. I know there's a million emails. There's Facebook Messenger, TikTok messages, Instagram messages. There's just Pinterest messages, Facebook messages. There's just messages everywhere, and I just can't get to everybody. So I'm sincerely sorry about all that. If you're reaching out on those social media platforms, I barely post, can function doing that, much less reading everything else that goes along with those sites. So I'm sorry. The best thing to do is to email me at medicalcodingbyjen@gmail.com. But I still check that once a week. I have time 1 day a week that I'll go through the emails and reply to everybody. So I'm not a daily person on even replying to messages. So I'm sorry. I need a clone. I need me. But then I got to hold on to everything and then try to answer it. And then, I don't know. It's trying to let go of everything and let somebody else answer. It's hard. I do have my twinkle, though. I love you guys. I will see you guys later. I hope this was helpful. And I would love to have somebody in the class in April. That would be fun. But I know it's expensive. It is super expensive. Don't blame no one. Self-study's a great way to go, for sure. Thanks, Tara, for the follow. Ooh, I had a Tara in high school. Let's see, that was, I think, 10th grade. All right, guys. See y'all later.